portion of the bottom path.
Totally agree with you, and it looks like the map is ready, ladies and gentlemen, so let's just jump right on in here. That starting buzzer, you're going to see Celestial actually running that central path right now, the central area as that little Charmander. We've been saying it a lot today, but it does need to have those levels. You're going to see kind of a mirror over there for Gengar's Goons as well, with Charmander running in that central area. What else do we see, Doob, on the other paths?
Oh, we're watching these three square off against each other again. Nothing too crazy here, and in the NA scene, the 1-1-3 setup. But look how far Gengar's Goons is pushing. They're putting a lot of pressure on full send, going to try and get some of the Audinos on their side of the path here. And now forced to retreat. Bloodline's on the verge. They don't make it out. They get taken out. But here we go. The Eldegoss is cleaned up on Gengar's Goons side of the map as well. And now the teams are pressuring each other very well. Snowpoints and Relove both forced to retreat here as Starbun keeps putting work, keeps chipping, but Pikachu is squishy, and they're forced to retreat. Eggnoob also doing work, but here's Otter working on Recent in the top lane, and normally these just pass like ships in the night to try and get points in, and Kratos as well going to make it to the goal zone, and look, we're going to see mirror scores in that top path.
That's right, and that was almost like clockwork, right? We saw the players advance, we saw them back off almost at the exact same time, and so when we say mirror match, we almost mean it right there in those terms. But you're going to see the bottom path, top path, take their Combi and Vespiquen, and then a nice secure of that KO from Otter coming in. That is the Lucario on purple, sending him back to base. Now let's see if Kratos is going down as well. Yes, it is, ladies and gentlemen. Dunking those points if you are purple, looking hot right now.
Otter says, let the big dog eat, taking 2 KOs in that top path here, as now Gengar's Goons is positioning themselves pretty well in the bottom path. Bloodline caught on the backside, using a Sing, getting into the middle, putting Eggnoob down. That's a slow smoke, eating everybody up, and the Leaf Tornado going to try to pick up the speed here. Is Bloodline again on the verge. They get clipped by the Surf, and they get taken out, as now Snowpoints and Red Love have to get back to the goal zone, and I think Gengar's Goon says, that's a good day's work. I'm willing to bubble off a little bit here, and they retreat to live for another day.
This was really nice positioning, you know, from Gengar's Goons. They had everything kind of set up as they, I think, would want to right there at that moment. Luckily, we are going to see Red Love evolve. I don't know why that was going to come out Red Love. I'm turning into Scooby-Doo here. But, ladies and gentlemen, you want to get that Ivysaur up here, just as important as the Charizard, really. These are some Pokemon that have a little bit more of an uphill path on that journey to be their final evolution. So we're going to be looking at those Bees, the Combi, and the Vespiquen combo at 720. But notice the skirmish happening right here.
Oh, Otter peeling down early, going to help support his squad, give him the personnel advantage here in the bottom path we're working through, and that's a KO right off the bat there for Red Love, and they've got to feel it and start warming up with the KOs with the Ivysaur. And now Full Send is getting in a little bit in posturing and getting to good position here for these Bees, going to get a good consider of the information. There's a KO by Celestial in the top path as well.
Nice. So yes, that was very nice, and can dunk in that 29. So this is wonderful if you are Full Send. You know, we're only about 3 minutes in, so obviously it's nothing that's going to break the entire game yet in the match's result. We are seeing that 3-2-1 until Dreadnought is now here in the stadium. Doof Snacks, I'm seeing a big contest for this, and look at that. Lucario making mincemeat of him.
KO streak of 2 again. The big dog is in fact eating here. Red Love getting one in their own. Starbun working in the goal zone, not interested in getting into that mix, saying I ain't about that action. Dog. KO streak of 3 for Otter as they're moving through, and this goal zone cannot be long for this world, as look how far up Bloodline was postured to protect this thing. Is it going to go down here? Are they going to close it out or leave it open for 10? Looks like they're leaving it open here, hoping for a bigger overcap. Look at the Charizard working alone with the Unite move in the top goal zone off the road. I'm able to get some points in for free as they're working through all of these players, going to get the points in before they're KO'd, and all of the resources of Gengar's Goons are being split here. Finally, they take care of Celestial, but things are sliding quickly. 227-9.
With that major advantage, you got to hand it to Celestial right there. Everyone on the bottom path doing their job, but here on that top path, Celestial not only with the slam from the Seismic Slam, but also the Seismic part, and you could just be up there flying overhead, keeping that Rotom in, but notice Kratos going to answer right back as this Charizard. We do have a power-up punch from the tall grass, ladies and gentlemen. Very nice to catch him off guard, and then the Unite move. That is a wonderful reversal on that play.
Oh, that was great, and that's a good way to get your team back in the game. Gengar's Goons is down on experience and getting some good KOs. As Jeff and Spraggles mentioned earlier, is a great way to pick up experience. Eggnoob trying to do their work, just chipping in a little bit, but I think they want to retreat and reposture here. And now it's about gaining the experience that you can get from the Pokemon on the map, and I think both teams are certainly interested in that.
That's right. For Gengar's Goons right there, that Slowbro, you know, you're really at an impasse at that moment because you saw like, hey, my ally is in trouble. You really want to help them. And Slowbro can certainly disable some of the other squad members and of your opponents. In that case, though, it was just a little bit kind of, you know, you can even count back 3 seconds, just about that late. So unfortunately, wasn't able to help and just had to back. So that was the right maneuver, most likely. And of course, Full Send is going to see what we see on the screen, which is we have a nice, huge lead. So we'll see what happens at the second Dread now, because that'll kind of be the next major play, I would say.
Both teams have showed up to posture and to battle here as the Unite move is kicks off this battle, and they're working through each other. Look at all the buddy barriers stacking up against each other. We're working through 3 players down for Gengar's Goons. This level disparity is just too much because even the Eldegoss is getting in on the action. Chalk me up for 2 KOs. Wiggly says, give me 1. Look at Celestial just scoring up here in the face of just this orange Gengar Goon squad. They barely want to get back in the action. Eggnoob leads the charge in with the Surf, but the damage has been done, and Red Love is just by themselves working on Dreadnought as well. And now the Charizard finally gets a KO on the Eldegoss, but the damage again, as I mentioned, has been done. Leisure Suit Red Love sealing up that Dreadnought for the squad.
Wasn't that an absolute marvel to watch? Because you saw Full Send within a matter of just about 5 seconds, able to knock out both of those goals on the bottom path. And so obviously looking to put in work here on the top path right here with the Rotom. Bloodline will kind of come off of that. You know, it may be that, hey, the rest of our team, we might, you know, be communicating about what's the best move. Because also you can see Gengar's Goons is making that advancement. They have that power-up punch, was charging in the tall grass, but no, it'll actually be Pikachu kind of giving him a nice warning shot, right, with that stun on the Thunderbolt.
Absolutely. Full Send trying to just posture in the middle, almost make a wall with those purple pips that you see on your map here, and just make sure that Gengar's Goons can't apply any pressure anywhere too much, because right now it's about controlling the game and not giving up this lead. You're up by over 400 here, and that Unite move is going to kick off the action, and we're trying to protect this bottom goal zone if you're Full Send. You just want to sit on that goal zone, you want to protect it. You don't want to go down here, you don't want to give up the experience. Look how far back Kratos is, the Charizard, as we're working through, and they still haven't picked up KO. Finally, the Wigglytuff goes down, but they're still squatted on that goal zone, and now the pressure's slowly sliding the other way, as now 4 KOs down on Gengar's Goons. If you give Full Send this much space, they will embarrass you like a soccer mom doing the floss. This is getting bad.
And that is a wonderful KO streak of 4. So this soccer mom absolutely coming to play, right? And so I am loving what we are seeing from Full Send. Gengar's Goons really got to pick this up, because not only has everything transpired as it has, but that Rotom is even here now on the last goal. So right now at 5:30 to 9, all you can hope for, mainly if you're Gengar's Goons, really is going to be that Zapdos play. There's not really going to be, unless you can all be at the Dreadnought immediately, a chance to burst it. So you really do have to burst that down if you want to try to play for that before Zapdos. We'll see what the teams opt to do, though.
I mean, let's do the basic math here. If everybody on Gengar's Goons has full pockets, straight ducats, that's only 500 points, and you're still losing. So they need to come up with a little bit more of a concrete strategy here, as now Lucario on Gengar's Goons is starting to feel a little bit, getting a couple KO, getting their experience up. Closing the gap early is nice, and closing the gap early like that is nice. They still need to keep their pockets full. They still need to get this Zapdos, and they still need to rein in those Hundo burgers, because Full Send still has that huge lead. Look at Zapdos just getting absolutely dusted here, and it doesn't matter. Full Send takes it.
So Full Send absolutely making this the nail in the coffin. Yes, the opposing team will surrender, which means Gengar's Goons is going to throw out the white flag. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and see the score breakdown. Not really going to be a surprise, I'm sure, right, Doob? So let's see as we calculate that here. The final score is going to be 630 for Full Send to 97 from Gengar's Goons.
That is tough sledding for Gengar's Goons. I don't know what their game plan is going to be in Game 2, but it better not be the one they drew up for Game 1. A race on the chalkboard, get the pen, get the chalk out and draw something up, because they're going to need to make at least a little bit of slight change. If I'm on Full Send, I'm feeling very comfortable. Don't get too comfortable, but hey, take a step forward, stick with what you got, and execute yet again.
Notice Celestia wearing the crown right here, and so that 243 definitely feels nice for them, but you can't discount Otter, Red Love, you know, packing in these over 100 points right here. And so we'll see what all the other data says, but man.
Individuals on Full Send are both individually talented, but if Gengar's Goons is going to make it to this grand finals, they need to coalesce as a squad and prove to us that they are greater than the sum of their parts, and I'm excited to see here in Game 2.
And yes, Game 2 is underway, my friends. So this is going to be Celestial right here in the central area once again as that little Charmander. And of course, sticking with the same player, but it is going to be Talonflame this time. That's for Gengar's Goons over there in the central area.
Yeah, Snow Point's chipping in and getting that contestable Audino in the middle, but look at Gengar's Goons. You can't go down this early. Please say it ain't so. Ooh. Come on. 2 KOs, 2 players down for Gengar's Goons, and they got the contestable Audino. Full send. If they could draw it up, this is exactly what they would have put down on the sheet of paper. And now we're watching them just chip into Starbun, who just wants to get that Audino on a prayer, but they can't lock it down.
That was the key right there. Starbun was really sweating because you have to wait for the rest of your team to come back, but you don't want to lose that odd, you know? You don't want to lose any of these wild Pokemon early on if you can help it, right? This is valuable experience right here. Just a minute down in this match, and that's why you go back. You hit this Apom eventually right here, as you see, of course, Bulbasaur now turning into Ivysaur right there, that grown-up Red Love, at least in middle stages. And here we go. Combee and Vespiquen are down.
Look at that big sleep catching 2 players on Gengar's Goons. We still have a Slowpoke. We still have a Gossifleur. And if Full Send wants to push, they can. KO Shrika 2 up top. But here we go. It's in the bottom lane now. Full Send is trying to fully send Gengar's Goons packing out of this tournament. And right now, they're doing a pretty good job in the first opening minutes of this game.
I hear what you did there, and did you see what they did there at full send over there on the top path? We actually noticed, of course, it was a dunk of 20 plus 20 coming in from Otter as the Lucario, but also that Charizard player, Celestial, who really brought the heat last match. That got very close, ladies and gentlemen. Nice, able to push him back with that Meteor Mash, and we'll see what happens here. Of course, we're looking to the Bees as kind of a next major objective, but we still have a little bit of time before that hits the map.
Finally, Eggnoob is able to chip in on that Audino, get themselves to a Slowbro. But look at Gossifleur is still on the map. We want that Leaf Tornado. We want that that Cotton Guard. But at level 3, that's just not going to get it done. Starbun trying to open up the gates here. But look how Full Send is posturing. They're not willing to get any of this map experience to the other team. That is their #1 priority. Keep them under-leveled so this action can kick off. And look at Reeson, even under 2 levels from their counterpart in the top path.
So this is a difficult spot once again for Gengar's Goons. We find them in that same kind of predicament. Well, it's not the same as last time, but definitely a difficult one. And you notice the Electro Web is down right there on Otter. Look at this Talonflame going down just barely right there, trying to hang on.
I mean, it's chess versus checkers right now. I'm not going to lie to you, Dr. Kendo. Gengar's Goons, you need to take a deep breath, settle it in. You are talented. You are a skilled squad. You are in the loser semifinals, in the NA February finals. You can do this. Take a deep breath. Don't overextend and start chipping your way back into this game. But look at this, the Full Send engage. And this is Gengar Goons' moment if they want it, but they're just falling again like dominoes. It's just like a toddler kicking through some Lego bricks. They're sending them all over the room. KO Shrink on 4 by the Charizard. What is happening?
That's Celestial once again, ladies and gentlemen, bringing on the KO strings, bringing on the big plays. You love to see it right here in this match #2 between these two teams. But now we'll be looking to that top lane. We're going to see Red Love is probably saying, hey guys, you want to come up here and help me out a little bit, because otherwise going to be outnumbered by Gengar's Goons, who really do need to secure an objective right here and make some plays. Look at that, 16 points on here, and the Brave Bird to initiate.
I mean, the fight is breaking out. Unite move by Red Love, and they're going to go after Van. No problem there. Reeson gets a berry, goes back to their goal zone. But here we go. They're going to see if they can stop the score. Red Love waits and then goes after the Talonflame. Talonflame dives back in with the Reeson support. They might get them. That's good experience, and that's a good way to start. Look at Snow Point's trying to hold it down in the face of Reeson. They get a KO because you can't stop a cotton ball that's on fire like they have been this game. Kratos finally making it out, not going down here and not letting things get too crazy. But Gengar's Goons needs to find more opportunities to get KOs like they just did.
Certainly hoping that cotton ball is not literally on fire to make a cheesy joke right here, but ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing the action unfold. We do like to see, obviously, that the score is going to be a little bit closer. You notice it's 149 to 57. We're not looking at perhaps a discrepancy as we talk that nice 40 getting dunked in, but we're not looking at a discrepancy, say, of 220-something to 9, for example, that we saw in that first game. Good job to Celestial, and of course, Red Love backing up to get that Rotom right here, and again, they'll be backed up by Wigglytuff on this top path.
Yeah, 3 of them escorting in that road, and it's going to be a good look, and they're going to try and battle in this goal zone a little bit as they close the one out downstairs. That's a Unite move by the Talonflame Kratos, getting Celestial out of the mix, and that's a good isolation with Eggnoob. They should be able to pick up this KO here. Eggnoob actually just walking right past, saying, now you got it, friend. And then this Rotom is chipping in. Reeson and Van going to keep that from going in. Full Send, doing the intelligent move, not giving up themselves to give up experience to Gengar's Goons, are peeling back a little bit.
I really would call that like a pivotal play. I mean, from Kratos right there, the Talon Flame, being able to flame sweep and pull out Celestial, who has just been really dominating for full send. Now, you notice, of course, points-wise, a lot of the other members are keeping up on full send over there, but we are seeing the absolute battle. It is right here, and a slow beam was down to stop Lucario. That's got to be devastating if you're Otter, because you were really on fire with that Aura Cannon final, that Unite move, and then Slowbro says, nah, I'm going to stop you in your tracks right there, crossing guarded up. And ladies and gentlemen, that is left side team. So full send will pick up another Dreadnought objective.
I know it sounds a little early, but at 4 minutes, Gengar's Goons needs to start moving together a little bit because they are just getting isolated and eaten. Look at Kratos. Is Kratos going to be on the chopping block? Bloodline and Otter give them another day, saying we don't need your KO just yet. Breeson's just hiding in the grass. Yeah. Doesn't want to engage in Eldegoss, I guess.
And it was nice right there because, you know, there certainly could have been a pursuit over there to, we've got very close to that KO, but Gengar's Goons actually was able to position themselves and hold that off pretty well. You know, I think everybody, the spacing, the micro game was played out very well right there. And so right now we're seeing, look at those full pockets. You know, whether it's 50, whether it's 40, right here, most of full send is sitting pretty with a lot of points. Obviously, a little bit early for the late game, you know, so we're not looking at, well, we are in the late game, but we're not looking at that final stretch just quite yet. So that's what we're going to look to. And the Rotom objective here on the field.
Completely dove, and look at the setup by full send. That yes, they're diving the Rotom, but Lucario's just been babysitting that bottom goal zone. So they're going to jump into the mix, and they're going to hold this down the best they can until that support can arrive. Celestial rolling through, going to try and get this Rotom in. But look at the Lucario for full send. They're still up, and Celestial now about to get this Rotom in on their own. Kratos has to jump in for the support with Reason, and finally they take down the Charizard. But look where everybody else on full send is on the map. They're just picking up the Pokemon experience that they can, while Gengar's Goons has their attention split on both paths, top and bottom.
The attention split is key, right? Because that was a very tall order for Gengar's Goons. We had to handle what was going on the bottom lane. We were trying to make some pushes, trying to make some things happen, but you can't fall to that pressure on the top lane from that Rotom. So really, you had it at all of the pathways, basically, to those goals that are still standing. So good on Gengar's Goons to at least hold that off, but I could see the sweat really on their brow, you know? We could see it from here.
Absolutely. Gengar's Goons down by about 80. However, this setup is much better than their last game. They aren't down by 500. So if they can get this Zapdos, despite their experience and level disparity, they will be able to get some hundo burgers in and possibly win this thing. Full send, though, you got to keep an eye on them. They do have full pockets. Zapdos is here, and the action has started. We've already seen a Unite move fly, and now it's about staying up and getting your points to convert. But Gengar's Goons has a player going down. Then that's the Eldegoss picking a KO up on the Machamp. Are you kidding me? And the work is going in. Starbun getting isolated. They're getting worked. Eggnoob just standing in the middle by themselves, but now the KOs are flying. 3 down for Gengar's Goons, and that's Lucario on the map. That's Red Love on the map, and now they're just all working through Zapdos, and they all have full pockets, and it's just about keeping Eggnoob from sniping this one out from under you. And look at that isolation. Are they going to convert? They do. Full send, unlocking the goal zones, and raining in those points here in a moment.
So there it is. Full send wants to order up those hundo burgers. By the way, I'll take mine without cheese, although that joke was full of cheese. So I'm sure if you want to say that's cheesy, maybe I'm wrong. But yes, we'll drop those in. So that's what a goal. 100, 100, 100, all over the place. You do notice, of course, Talonflame right there. Kratos for Gengar's Goons trying to get in some points here and there back behind him. But man, it's just not looking too good if you're Gengar's Goons here with less than a minute in the match.
I mean, there's tons of Pokemon to be able to take out to get your Aos energy back up, but they just don't have the time to do it. And look at full send. They're not giving up. They're still chipping in points, And poor Kratos with 41 points. I'm sorry, friend. 82 isn't going to close this gap, my friend.
You're right. It is unfortunate. Valiant effort. Of course, we do like to see it, but man, this is already 868 to 333, and look at how devastating it's getting. I mean, full send with about 4 of their members coming in right now, just pressuring this very last goal from Gengar's Goons and KOing anybody that wants to step out and like try to challenge this.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's sitting at level 15, but the Wigglytuff and the Eldegoss, who is obviously on KO cooldown here. And now we're quite literally in garbage time. We're waiting for this thing to reel out. Full send, punching their ticket to the losers finals, where they're going to square off against Blackhand.
Did you see that devastation from Celestial? Almost adding that insult to injury, trying to hit them even behind while they're just waiting in their base, really, for the inevitable, right? So let's go ahead, get that score breakdown for you on screen. Obviously, we are seeing a 978 in victory. That's going to be for Full Send, and then 371 to Gengar's Goons over there on orange. Very well fought. I would say this was definitely, I think, a closer game too, but still, we're looking at a massive score discrepancy. But notice, of course, who's wearing the crown, really, for both teams and how many points that was.
I mean, yeah, Otter did a great work.